Welcome to our first lesson on phonetics and phonology of English. Today, we are setting the foundation for everything we will be learning in this series. Let us see the objectives for this lesson. By the end of this lesson, we should be able to 1. Define phonetics. 2. We will be able to define phonology. We will also talk about the relationship between phonetics and phonology, the relationship between sound and orthography, and the last one, the importance of phonetics and phonology. Let us get straight into it. Let's begin with phonetics. In simple terms, phonetics is the study of how speech sounds are produced, transmitted, and perceived. It is like looking at the science behind how we speak and hear language. Now, phonetics can be divided into 3 main areas. Let us look at these 3 areas. First of all, we have articulatory phonetics. This is the study of the production of speech sounds. Here, we are focusing on how we produce sounds. So the movements of our lips, the movements of our tongue, the movements of the vocal cords, or the vibration of the vocal cords, and other parts of our speech organs. So articulatory phonetics deals with the production of speech sounds. We also have acoustic phonetics. This is the field of phonetics concerned with the physical properties of the speech sounds once they have been produced. We will talk about things like pitch, volume, and sound waves. That is all that acoustic phonetics is about. It studies the physical properties of sound once we have produced it. 3. We have auditory phonetics. This branch studies sound from the viewpoint of the listener. In other words, how our ears and brain make sense of what we hear. These are the 3 areas of phonetics: the production of speech sounds, articulatory phonetics, the study of the physical properties of the speech sounds when they are produced, acoustic phonetics, and then how the ears and the brain make sense of what we hear, auditory phonetics. We will learn more about articulatory phonetics later in this lesson. Now let us talk briefly about acoustic phonetics and then auditory phonetics. First, when we say acoustic phonetics, we have already defined it, that it is the part of phonetics that looks at the physical properties of sound once they have been produced. Now, these are the physical properties of sounds once they are produced. This is how acoustic phonetics works. The study of these physical properties of speech sound. 1. We have frequency. What is frequency? It is the rate of variation in air pressure in a sound. So this is simply how fast the air vibrates when we make a sound, and it is measured in hertz. The main or the basic frequency is called the fundamental frequency. So if there is a higher frequency, then it means that the voice will contain a higher pitch. If there is a lower frequency, then there is going to be a deeper pitch. Let us talk about amplitude. Amplitude, think of it as the height of a sound wave, that is, the distance between the rest point and the top bottom of a wave. It tells us how strong or loud a sound is. Bigger amplitude means louder sound, and smaller amplitude means softer sound. What about intensity? It is basically the amount of acoustic energy present in a sound. That is, the amount of sound energy in that wave. What about duration? Duration is the length of time that a sound lasts or travels. This is just how long a sound lasts before it fades away. That is duration. Now what about spectrum? Spectrum is like a picture or a graph of sound. It shows the main frequency, the extra tones called harmonics, and how loud each one is. These are elements or physical properties of sound. So we've done acoustic phonetics. Now let us talk about auditory phonetics. This is about how our ears and brain hear and interpret sounds. First of all, when we say frequency, it is what we hear as pitch. So pitch is simply whether a sound feels high or low. The faster the vibrations, then the higher the pitch we perceive. Next in auditory phonetics is what we call loudness. Intensity is an acoustic property. So in auditory phonetics, we perceive intensity as loudness, or we hear intensity as loudness. Loudness is about how strong a sound feels to us, from soft whispers to very powerful shouts. Then we have duration. So this is the length of a sound. It is how long a vowel, a consonant, or even a whole syllable is held. Finally, we have a spectrum. It is the unique quality or tone of a sound that makes it different from others. So in auditory phonetics, spectrum is not just the graphical representation of the sound waves. It is the quality of the sound that makes it different from others. That is why the same note on a piano sounds different from the same note on a guitar. That is the quality of the sound spectrum in auditory phonetics. Now that we know what phonetic means, what is phonology and how different is phonetics from phonology? Let us see